Hello everyone, my name is Clement. I am currently the rule pack leader from the OS World Council. So my job as a rule pack leader is to coordinate everything regarding rolling. So it's the rule pack as itself, how we will play the event in terms of restriction, in terms of list, and how the score will be. Also, we have shot clock at the event, so I also deal with that. And there is also the FAQ for the event because since it's a big competitive event, we decide to do an FAQ that will answer some questions from the captain that aren't in an official Games Workshop FAQ. And to be honest, it is the biggest part of my job. So, and the second biggest part of my job is to make maps with the ref. So basically, we will ensure that there will be a map packs for the event. And so every single players on the event will play on the same battlefield when they pick a battle plans. So for example, every single player that will play in Vein of Sgur will have to choose between two maps, a light maps with a little bit of terrain and a dense map with a lot of scenarios on the battlefield. I got the job a little bit differently than my co-worker in the consult because I'm not a captain. So at first I was a referee back in the V2. It was before Milan. And since they were looking for a rule pack leader, I proposed myself to the position, and this is how I got in that position as a role pack leader. So the first step on my job was regarding the role pack, because in OS world, the captains vote the majority of the decisions we make. So I had to ask a lot of questions regarding how they feel regarding this event. So I could know what I was supposed to do in the rule pack. So there was a vote for limitation on the list. How many grand strategy could you pick? How many core battalions? How many optimizations could you choose? For example, could you duplicate the Amulet of Destiny? There was also a vote regarding what's called duplication. Can you play Plague Bearers on a list and then play Plague Bearers on another list, for example, both in Nurgle and Legion of the Far Prince? And there was also a big discussion regarding chess clock. We use chess clock to split the time of the games in a fair amount between two players. So for example, if one player is playing a very long list with a lot of model, like a Cinch, they will have to play the same amount that someone that is playing Sons of Behemoth. And so if you take too much time to do your stuff, you will be penalized. The biggest decision is mostly about what to do regarding some controversial role points. For example, very recently, we have to deal with the War Master interactions with Battle Trace. Because we know, as a matter of fact, that every single War Master, like Nagash, Kragnos, or Archon, doesn't benefit from Allegiance abilities. There is some blurry lines because, for example, if you play Boulder Reds in Ogre, you can use a command trait to make all your Ogres that are well within the general to make things it is piling. And for example, there was big questions. Does Kragnos benefit from that? And so, as a rule pack leader, but also as a ref, I have to consult the other ref and make a decision regarding this. So my goal is to make sure that the event will be the most competitive as possible that you can do, because it will be the clash of a lot of countries. And I think it's important to make sure that everything is perfectly fine in terms of ruling, but also in terms of maps, because you have to first deal with all the loopholes that captains will find and will abuse if you don't do anything, but also you have, when making maps, at first you think it's easy because it's just putting scenarios on the battlefield, but since it's something competitive, you have to take a lot into account. For example, if you play Age of Sigmar a lot, you know that climbing models is a big issue in the competitive settings, because sometimes player will disagree on where and how you can climb on the terrains. And so, for example, when doing the maps, we will make sure that all the terrains that could be a problem because of hobbly models will be unpassable, even if it's not a rule that you can use in the general handbook. We will add that to make sure that the battlefield are not abusable. We want the event to be very fair. We don't want to have someone who will climb on the terrains and claims that you can charge the models because you can go up because you will be below the bases, and so it's possible, etc. Stuff like that. What is good about Worlds? It's that it's the only event currently in Age of Sigmar that is a clash between countries. So it's like the World Cup. It's not official, of course, but it's almost like it. And I think that is very exciting to have match like, for example, will be USA versus France, or France versus Belgium, or even all that stuff that can happen, because usually events are team versus teams, and there is no concept of nation and countries. And so this is a very good point for the event, I think. And also, if you are excited by the world, what I advise you to do is to check the websites, so you will know everything regarding the FAQ that we apply during the event, and you can even use it if you find them convenient for your settings, or even if you are a TO, it will help you filling some loopholes that player could abuse during your event.